Hey everyone. If you're joining me live today, then welcome, and if you're watching the playback or the recording of this, also welcome. I will start in a few moments. I'm just waiting for the big bell clock that I live near to play its hourly song, so enjoy. I think at 10 o'clock it plays a version of I Could Have Danced All Night, which is lovely to listen to. As that plays in the background, you might gather something to sit on for practice today. So we'll move through a gentle hatha practice, and if you choose to, you could sit on a block or a cushion. So you can probably hear the music now. It's a different song. It's a new one. So gather something to sit in if you like. I'll kneel, and if you're able to kneel, that's a nice option as well. We'll be sitting for the first few moments of practice, so you can always adjust and change the position that you're starting in. Another nice idea as well is if you love music and you have a favorite kind of relaxing or gentle playlist, you could pop that on in the background. Sometimes having the music that we enjoy while we're practicing can help us to relax a little more. So once you've got all of those things and you're ready to begin, we'll start in a seated position. And you might take a couple of moments to really get settled in this seated position. So it can be helpful to try a couple of different things. So I might just move my pelvis a little from side to side, or maybe if I'm sitting cross-legged, I play with the orientation of my legs. And then maybe closing your eyes, starting to let all those external stimuli begin to drift away. And the first few moments of practice are this wonderful place where we can check in and we get to really see how we're feeling today. You could even ask yourself the question, how am I really feeling? How am I feeling physically today? What's the quality of my mind at this moment? And just see what it's like to be with the answers that come up. Just to be with how you are feeling truly today. Our 30-minute practice together today is a gentle hatha practice on grounding. So we'll move through some poses to sort of stimulate and to awaken the legs a little bit, to feel the support of the feet. But we'll begin this practice with a meditation and breath practice. So as you sit here with your eyes closed, just begin to notice the natural flow in and out of your breath. One of the breathing practices that I love for creating a sense of groundedness and stability is samavritti, which is also known as equal breathing. It's a very simple breathing technique, and all that happens is that we begin to count our breath, looking to have the inhale and the exhale be of equal counts. And a nice number is 4. So with your eyes closed, your face relaxed, your tongue soft in the jaw. When you're ready, as you inhale, slowly and silently count to 4. And as you exhale, slowly and silently count to 4. And we'll do this for a few rounds together. As you're inhaling, slowly and silently counting to 4. And as you're exhaling, slowly and silently counting to 4. Letting the breath become balanced and steady. And enjoying a few rounds of this breathing exercise. Equal breathing. At the end of your next exhale breath, just allow the counting to be released, noticing how the breath breathes your body for a few moments. And notice all of the support underneath you. So this base of support that you have with your lower body, the pelvis, the legs, the surface on which you're sitting. And in your mind's eye, visualize your body as a mountain. So the base of the mountain, the lower body, the legs, the pelvis, and then the spine lengthening upwards with your crown of the head, the peak of your mountain, and the sides of your body that slopes down. And when we consider the qualities of a mountain, there is this innate strength, this stability, and this amazing ability to be still and steady as storms rage around them. And so for the next few moments, really feel that you are and have the qualities of a mountain. You are unwavering, you're stable, you're grounded, you're part of the earth, connected to the earth. And breathing those qualities into your body. Take a few more moments here. And then slowly and very, very thoughtfully begin to bring a little movement into your body. You might move your shoulders or your head, your neck. You might give your legs a little stretch out if they need to adjust and to move for a moment. We've got just a few more moments in this seated position, so do feel free to change and to adapt as you need to. You might open your eyes and just take a look at the space that you're in again. And once you're settled again in your seated position, lengthening up through your spine, just rest your hands somewhere on your legs. So maybe on your thighs or a little more towards your knees. We'll begin to connect the breath and the movement together a little more in a seated cat-cow movement. So as you inhale, lift the chest up. You might even lift your eyes up a little bit. This is the inhale breath, seated cow shape. And then exhale as you round the spine, lean back into a seated cat. And finding a little bit of a flow here. So as you inhale, lifting the chest, maybe lift the eyes if the neck feels okay there. And then exhale as you lean and round. You might even close your eyes as you do this. Inhale to lift the chest. And then exhale to round as much as makes sense for your body today. Let's do about 3 or 4 more rounds of this movement. Any other movements that creep in that feel really good as you do this, you're welcome to invite them into the practice. Maybe the head moves a little or the shoulders kind of roll and stretch. And take one more round of breath, one more round of movement. Finding your way back to a neutral position, your seated position, and we'll just explore a gentle twist to either side. We'll begin by taking the left hand to the right knee or thigh, the right fingers behind you. Inhale to lengthen your spine. And as you exhale, see what it's like in your body today to begin turning the upper body to the right. You may move just a few inches. It might be an extremely sort of subtle twist, or you might be moving the shoulder back a little more. Maybe even your head starts to float, the eyes turning to the space behind you. But really listening to your body as you do this and finding a range of motion that feels really lovely. Feels sort of awakening and enlivening today. Take an inhale breath here. And on the exhale, slowly coming back to center, and we'll find our way over to the other side. So right hand to your left leg at the thigh or the knee, left fingers behind. Inhale to lengthen. And as you exhale, see what it's like to rotate in the other direction. And a really interesting thing to notice when you do something side to side is how it's different and similar. So maybe it's the same range of motion on this side, or maybe it's a little different. We'll stay here for the inhale breath. And then exhale, come all the way back to center. Let's find our way to hands and knees to a tabletop position. So it can feel nice to stretch out your legs a little bit as well. After sitting for a while, you might stretch out the legs or give them a little bit of a shake out. So hands and knees, tabletop position. Bring your wrists under your shoulders, your knees under your hips, and spread your fingers really wide. Take up a lot of space with your hands on the mat. Notice the stability and the support underneath you. So we have this sense of sort of being grounded and stable here in tabletop. And with that sense of stability, we'll begin to invite a little breath-centered movement in. So cat-cow here. As you inhale, see what it's like to lower the belly a little, to open the chest, to send the eyes forward. And as you exhale, press the mat away round the spine. Maybe close your eyes as you begin to flow in and out of these two postures, cat-cow. And feeling how this gentle breath-centered movement starts to really drop you into your body. The sense of kind of feeling the body as it moves and all these subtle and amazing sensations that start to make themselves known. If there's any discomfort, maybe see if you can find a way of doing that shape or that movement that works well in your body today. Maybe it's a little less or a little more. We'll take about 2 more rounds of this cat-cow movement, really feeling how the breath moves your body. And after your next exhale breath, so the next time that you exhale and round your spine, come all the way back to neutral, back to a tabletop position. Look to the top of your mat and step your right foot to your right thumb, or use your right hand to place your right foot towards the front of your mat. Your left knee, you can always pad your left knee with a little extra padding here, rolling over the mat. Bring both hands to your right thigh and just notice how this low lunge position feels at this moment in your body. How the knees feel, how the pelvis feels here. See if you can draw your belly in a little bit and then lengthen up through your spine. Relax the shoulders, relax the muscles around the eyes. Now you might stay here with your hands on your right thigh. This is beautiful. Some possibilities to explore. Maybe you bring your hands to your chest into Anjali Mudra. Some of you may extend your arms up towards the sky. And take a few moments here as you connect to your breath, as you connect to sensation in this low lunge, just feeling this shape in your body. What is it like to be in this shape today? Noticing the stability and the support underneath you, and how that support allows the upper body to lengthen upwards. Feeling the earth, feeling your feet. Taking a deep inhale breath. And on the exhale, slowly bring the hands back to the mat, stepping back to a tabletop position, so back to your hands and knees, and then intuitively move your body in any way that feels good here. So I really like to just roll my pelvis around a little bit after a lunge, or to sway the shoulders side to side. Finding your way back to neutral, back to tabletop. And we'll explore this on the left side. So looking forward, step or place left foot towards the left thumb. Right knee lower down, maybe pad that right knee if you need a little extra padding. And then both hands to your left thigh. And then aware, just begin to notice, how is it on this side of my body? What are the sensations that are being created here? Feeling that stability underneath you, and then that beautiful lengthening upwards of the upper body. You may stay here with your hands on your left thigh. This is beautiful. Maybe palms float to your chest, or arms extend up. It might look the same, it might look different on this side. This is the beauty of the practice, is we can modify and adapt as needed. Aware of how your body's breathing in this shape, feeling that amazing flow of breath. Feeling a deep inhale breath come in. And on the exhale, hands find their way back to the floor, coming to a tabletop position. And let the body move in this tabletop. Maybe it's cat-cow, or just those lovely circles of your pelvis, that kind of rolling of the hips. And then from tabletop, start to make your way into a child's pose shape. So maybe toes together or feet apart, your knees nice and wide, hips settling back towards the heels. And then you might rest your forehead on your mat, or you might stack your hands or your fists and rest the forehead on the hands. If you need a prop under your pelvis, please, by all means, pop something under there if it helps to support you in your child's pose. Feeling in this child's pose shape all the support of the earth underneath you. So this feeling of being so grounded and connected to the earth. The body's fully supported here. And we'll take about 3 more rounds of breath. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. From your child's pose position, start to slowly bring yourself back to hands and knees, back to tabletop position. And from tabletop, we'll start to see what it's like to lower down onto the belly today. So one possibility is to walk the knees back a little bit into a half plank position. Or you might feel like tucking the toes and lifting the knees up away from the mat into a higher variation of plank. Draw the belly up and in, take a deep inhale breath. On the exhale breath, coming down onto the belly, you might bend the elbows to come down or walk your forearms down onto the mat to slowly lower yourself down, being really mindful of the best way to bring yourself to your belly today. Once you're lying down on the mat, bring your palms by your low ribs, roll the elbows in towards you. Press the tops of the feet into the mat, coming into some little Cobra Lift. So as you inhale, float the head, chest, and shoulders up away from the mat. And then exhale, just let the upper body float back down. So these really sort of subtle lifting of the body. Inhale as you float up into a low cobra. Exhale as you soften back down. And sort of thinking of this a little bit like cat-cow for a few rounds. So moving with your breath, inhaling as you just float up away from the mat with breath. And then exhaling to soften back down. You could close your eyes as you do this. 2 more. Inhaling as you float up away from the floor. Exhale as you connect back with the floor again. And last one. Inhale, softening up away from the floor. Exhaling as the body melts back down. Take a breath in. A breath out. And begin to find your way back to tabletop position, either using your forearms to walk yourself up or using the palms to press yourself back up. Take a breath in tabletop. And slowly floating back into your favorite variation of child's pose again. So letting the body soften back into child's pose. Finding a place to rest the head that feels comfortable, maybe on your hands or down onto your mat. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Opening your eyes as you begin to roll yourself back up. Coming to a seated position, so lean to one side and swing the legs out in front of you. And as we think about coming to lie down on the back, you might scoot yourself forward a little bit. And you could roll down, so you could bring the arms out in front of you and slowly roll down, or you might decide today to very softly walk yourself down, elbows behind as you begin to lower the upper body down to the mat. Once the head and shoulders are down on the mat, hug your legs in towards you, into Apanasana. And as you draw those legs in, very softly rock the body side to side. As you rock side to side here, you're sort of gently massaging the low back, even into the pelvis a little bit. We'll come back to center, back to stillness. Keep hugging the right leg in and lengthen the left leg out along your mat. You might press the left heel away from you as you draw that right leg in. Option 1 is to just stay very still in this leg stretch. Option 2 is to roll the right knee and thigh around a little bit, almost like you're rolling the right thigh in the right hip socket. You could move in a clockwise or an anti-clockwise movement. Just feeling the pelvis unwinding a little, those hips starting to release and relax. And then we'll switch the legs super simple. Draw the left leg in, lengthen the right leg out. Press the right heel away from you so there's a sense of groundedness in the body. And you could stay very, very still, or you might move that left thigh in the left hip socket here as well. Maybe in similar movements, or you might just explore some different movements for that left leg. And then we'll slowly come all the way back to center. Bring both feet to your mat so your knees are bent. Just let the arms rest by your sides for a moment. With your eyes closed, take a deep breath in. And a full breath out. Moving into a resting butterfly shape here. So soles of the feet together and allow your knees to soften out to the sides. Your heels could be quite close towards your hips, or you might slide your heels a little further away. And because we're down on the back, you could always bring blocks or cushions under the thighs or the knees. Maybe arms out to the sides, or resting the hands on the upper body, at the belly, at the chest. Relaxing the tip of your tongue in your jaw. And really connecting with the support underneath your body. This amazing sensation of being fully supported and held up by the earth. It's almost as though the floor is coming up to sort of cup and hold your body here. And because of this support, maybe seeing if the body is able to relax a little more into the floor, if we can give a little bit more of ourselves into this support for a few more breaths. For your Savasana today, you might decide to stay with your legs in this butterfly shape, or an option is to lengthen your legs out here into sort of a more traditional Savasana type shape. So looking for where you might feel most comfortable and at ease. Eyes closed, and that sense of heaviness as the body gives its weight into the earth, into the mat, knowing that for the next few moments you are fully supported, held and cradled by the earth. Allowing yourself to let go and to relax for a few moments here. you might decide to remain in Savasana for quite a while longer, just letting your body be held and supported by the earth. If you'd like to close your practice in a seated position, you might very gently bring a little movement back into things like fingers and toes, maybe the head and the neck. And in the gentlest way possible, finding your way to seated if you're choosing to do so. There's no rush. Take your time and be so kind to your body and your mind if you're moving. If you did come to a seated position once you're settled, you might bring your hands together in Anjali Mudra. So your palms connected, the thumbs resting at your chest and your eyes closed. Taking a moment to thank yourself for carving time out of your day to practice yoga, to practice self-care, and to look after your body, and to look after your mind. Thank you for joining me today for this gentle hatha practice. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. If you are in Shavasana, please stay there for as long as you would like. Today, if you are sitting and you're ready to head into the rest of your day, thanks for taking the time to join me to watch this, and I hope it gives you just a little bit of a sense of gentle hatha, this sort of style of Hatha Yoga that's a little softer and that we can modify. It's really great for beginner students or just anybody. I love this as my main practice, this sort of gentle Hatha approach. And if you have any questions about the practice today, please feel free to pop them into the comments. Thank you again. Bye.